Hello children. In today's video, we are going to learn about our water resources. Water is a vital natural resource which forms the basis of all life. It is one of the marvelous gifts to us. About 70% of the human body is of water. The bodies of all plants and animals contain water. Now, why do we say that water is a vital natural resource, children? Yes, because not only human beings, even plants and animals, they all depend on water for their living, right? And it is a natural resource. We will not make water is available naturally in the nature. Now, what are the different sources from where we get water? That is what we are going to learn in today's lesson. Do you think that only uh, we need water only to drink and to live? No, there are many other uses. Like we'll see. 97% of the water on the earth is salt water. However, only 3% is fresh water. Slightly over two-thirds of this is frozen in glaciers and polar ice caps. Whatever water is available on the earth is salt water. Out of this, only 3%, which is fresh water, is available for use. And the remaining water, whatever is there, it is all in the frozen form, in the form of ice in glaciers and polar regions. The remaining unfrozen fresh water is found mainly as groundwater, with only small fraction present above ground or in the air. Whatever 3% fresh water is available on earth, which we use, it is in the form of groundwater. Only small fraction it is present above the ground or in the air in the form of water vapor. On the surface of the earth, 71% is covered by seas and oceans, and remaining 29% is occupied by land. Fresh water is a renewable resource. The main sources of water. Let us see the different sources of water. What are the different sources? We get water from lakes, ponds, streams, rivers, and underground water in the form of open wells, tube wells, springs. And the main source is the rain. It is the main source of fresh water. Farmers depend upon rainwater for their crops. We need water to drink, cook food, wash clothes, and do many other things. Farmers need water to grow crops. These are the natural sources of water: lakes, oceans, ponds, rivers, and streams. About three-fourths of the earth is covered with water. How much percent is covered with water on the earth? Three-fourths. More than 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Water is an essential component of all animal and plant life. Rain. It is the main source of fresh water. Farmers depend upon rainwater for their crops. Because, as you all know, that the distribution of land is not even, and in the same way, the supply of water also. The main source. We all depend on rain for the water. And the farmers, they depend mostly on the rain because to grow crops, sufficient water is required to grow crops, proper crops. Groundwater. The rainwater, whatever water is fallen in on the ground, they all seep into the ground, under the ground. So all the rainwater that is stored underground has to be taken out. And how do we take it out? With the use of wells and hand pumps. Much of the rain that falls seeps into the ground. This is called groundwater. Wells and hand pumps are used to take out groundwater. Next is ponds and lakes. An area of water surrounded by land is called a pond. A lake is bigger than a pond. Rainwater collects in ponds and lakes. Rivers. Rivers that originate in the mountains get water from the melting of snow and rain. Hence, they carry water throughout the year. Rivers that originate from the plateaus get water only from rain. They almost dry up in summer. Especially in our country, in the northern India, there are Himalayas. So the rivers which originate from the mountains and flow in the northern part of India, they get water from the melting of snow and rain. So those rivers always have water throughout the year. But whereas rivers that originate from the plateaus in the southern India, in the southern plateau, they get water only from the rain. The rivers that flow in the southern plateau, they get water only from the rain. They almost dry up in summer. If there are no sufficient rains, then there will be no water in those rivers. Seas and oceans. Most of the water on the earth is in the seas and oceans. However, the water is salty. We cannot use it. Means of irrigation. To grow crops, farmers need sufficient and timely supply of water. This is possible only through irrigation. There are different means of irrigation in India. Wells and tube wells. In villages, people dig wells to bring groundwater to the surface. Water is drawn using a Persian wheel. Now, what do you mean by a Persian wheel? A wheel which is connected with many buckets and which is used to draw water from the well. This is, can you see the picture here, children? Yes, this is called as the Persian wheel. Next is canals. In the northern and eastern coastal plains, small channels are dug to take water from the rivers to the fields. These are called as canals. Canals are dug from a small part from the river, from the rivers, the water to take to the fields. So they dig these canals. Next is tanks. In the southern plateaus, the low-lying areas get filled with water during the monsoon season. These are called tanks. Tank irrigation is mostly practiced in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, and Karnataka. Next is sprinklers. In sprinkler irrigation, water from a pipe is sprayed into the air. It falls on plants like rain. It is popular in states of Rajasthan, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, and Kerala. Can you see the picture here, children? How the water is sprayed like rain onto the crops. Next, dams. A dam is a very strong wall built across a river to block the flow of water. This water is stored in an artificial lake called as reservoir, created behind the dam. The stored water is taken to the fields through canals. A dam is called as a multi-purpose project because it is useful to us in many ways. Now, can you see the picture, children? Yes. Strong wall. This is the strong wall that is built across river to block the flow of water. This stored water is the water is stored in an artificial lake called reservoir, which is created behind the dam. So whenever there are excess rains, so to control the flow of water, these dams are useful. Right, children? This water is slowly released into the artificial lake called as the reservoirs. Yes, and these dams, they are called as multi-purpose project because they are useful to us in many ways. In a dam, water is made to fall from a great height. The force of falling water is used to generate hydroelectricity. It provides water for irrigation. It controls floods. There are many multi-purpose projects in our country. Some of them are the Bakra Nangal Dam, which is built on the river Satluj. And then there is Damodar Valley Project, which is built on the river Damodar. The Sardar Sarovar Dam, which is built on the river Narmada, and the Meter Dam, which is built on the Kaveri Dam.